Hey friend, glad you're here. Quick gut check. When do most women start worrying about breast cancer? Late 40s? Early 50s? Here's the twist. If you're a Black woman, that worry and the diagnosis often shows up years earlier. And it's usually not about diet, grit, or willpower. Two genes, BRCA1 and BRCA2, are doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Let's unpack that in plain English and with some real-life stories you won't forget. First stop, family history. Picture Mia, a 38-year-old accountant. She's healthy, busy, and, like most of us, barely has time to schedule her own checkups. But three relatives pop up on her mental radar: an aunt diagnosed at 41, a cousin at 45, and a grandmother in her early 40s. Her doctor suggests early mammograms, good start, but never raises genetic testing. No one tells Mia that a cheek swab could reveal whether BRCA1 is hiding in her DNA. Now meet Alicia, 44. She's the very first in her family to hear, "You have breast cancer." Surgery happens, chemo happens, life turns upside down. Only afterward does she learn she carries a mutation she could have known about years earlier. Different paths, same missing piece, timely genetic insight. Let that sink in. So, why do some clinics catch these patterns while others swing and miss? Section 2. The flag, or the miss. At one urban hospital, any patient under 50 with a close relative diagnosed young gets an automatic flag. They meet a genetic counselor before surgery, not after. Enter Monique, 39, a middle school teacher. The day her biopsy turns positive, she's whisked into a short consult. She hears why her age, tumor type, and family breadcrumbs point to BRCA testing, and how the answer could shape everything from surgery choices to lifetime screening. 6 weeks later, she's still weighing lumpectomy versus mastectomy, but now she's armed with data, not guesswork. Across town, same city, same week, Tasha, also 39, walks a different hallway. No flag, no counselor. She doesn't even know BRCA testing exists until chemo's nearly done and a cousin is diagnosed. By then, some doors, like fertility options and nerve-sparing surgery, have quietly closed. What split their roads? Not biology, not insurance. It was how hard each team hunted for hidden patterns. Long checklists of affected relatives sound thorough, but often miss Black families where records are scattered or older relatives were treated overseas. That's why new programs add extra clues: age at diagnosis, tumor subtype, even clusters of other cancers, like prostate or pancreatic, in distant cousins. Each clue lowers the bar for offering testing. Section 3. Bringing the conversation home. Community clinics are getting creative. Think church health fairs, barbershop pop-ups, neighborhood Facebook Lives. Take Jasmine, a 33-year-old hairstylist in Atlanta. At a health fair, she learns her dad's stomach cancer and an aunt's ovarian cancer could be part of the same BRCA thread that raises early breast risk. She leaves with talking points for her next checkup and, more importantly, permission to ask. Or Denise, 36. Her mom died young from what the family only called women's problems. At a church event, Denise shows a nurse her handwritten family tree. The nurse circles uterine, prostate, and pancreas cancers and says, "These might connect." Within months, Denise and her sister are in a high-risk program alternating MRI and ultrasound. No lump required. One surgeon goes even simpler. A sticky note on the computer reads, "Under 45? Ask twice." So when Kiana, 41, shows up with a small tumor and swears there's no family history, a resident circles back. That second pass uncovers an older brother with metastatic prostate cancer. Kiana's plan shifts from a routine lumpectomy to a coordinated game plan that includes fertility talks and offers to test her brother and adult daughter. Section 4. Why BRCA1 and BRCA2 matter right now. For researchers, adding more Black women into genetic databases shrinks the number of variant of unknown significance results. Translation: risk models get sharper and less guessy. For guideline writers, the data push tough questions. Should screening or genetic review start earlier for some groups? If yes, how early and for whom? And for you? It boils down to one powerful idea. Clearer family patterns mean fewer terrible surprises. Imagine two friends leaving this episode together. One now knows early-onset breast cancer isn't evenly distributed. The other remembers that BRCA1 and BRCA2 carry a big slice of that inherited risk. Both see why asking, "Could this run in my family?" is more than small talk. It's a potential lifesaver. So, what can you do before we meet again next week? 1. Map your family history: breast, ovarian, prostate, pancreatic, even uterine cancers. Jot down ages and diagnoses. 2. Bring one crystal-clear question to your next appointment or send it through the patient portal. Given my age, background, and this family tree, should I talk to a genetic counselor? 3. If BRCA pops up in you or a loved one, plan who needs the news first and how you'll share it. Text, Zoom, kitchen table, whatever feels right. Recap time. So here's what we covered today. Early breast cancer shows up more often and earlier in Black women. BRCA1 and BRCA2 account for a hefty chunk of that inherited risk. Catching the pattern early hinges on detailed questions, not just long pedigree charts. Community-centered outreach, from churches to barbershops, is moving the needle. And you have agency right now. Gather your family story, ask your provider, and decide who else needs to know. Remember, knowledge isn't just power, it's timing. The sooner you spot a genetic red flag, the more options you keep on the table. You own the first move. Thanks for listening. Share this episode with someone who could use a nudge, and we'll see you next week.